6. Let's review this real quick. See how you did. Does anybody think they have the right answer for number 6? What did you get? Come on.
I got d equals -9 and then n equals negative.
Okay. What about you?
Never mind. I had no idea how to do this.
Yeah, number 6 is exactly like number 5. So I told you that yesterday. If you don't know how to do number 6, just look at number 5. What?
Well, I wasn't sure.
I'm just asking what the answer is. What'd you get?
4 9.
Okay, what did you get?
I got n equals 1, 2, 3. I got 4 9.
4 9ths. All right, let's see if that works out.
Mr. Snow, I don't know.
All right.
I got 4.
Now, so again, for these problems, all right, we said yesterday.
Thank you.
Just stop talking. Now, we said we write a fraction yesterday as the numerator over the denominator. And actually what I'm going to do is we're just going to go right here. All right. Here we go. Take a look up. So these guys said it was 4 9ths. Pat yourself in the back. Good job. All right. So those of you guys who don't see it, now listen. On your test, you're going to get half credit for setting it up and half credit for solving it. All right. So that's the most important thing. Is try. I've told you guys. All right. It doesn't do any good for you to come in and just copy down my work. That's not going to work for you. All right. What I need for you to do is I need for you to look up here now and see what it says. It says that the fraction itself is what? N over D. All right, that's what we said yesterday. All right, so if it's N over D, the first question says if 2 is added to the numerator plus 2, all right, over D. That new fraction becomes what? 2/3. That's what you should have written down. Then the second part, it says if 1 is subtracted from the denominator. So if I want to subtract 1 from the denominator, I just put n over d minus 1. And that becomes what? 1/2. All right? Everybody good with this? All right? Now, the next thing, for these types of equations, we said if you have a proportion, all we're doing for a proportion is what? Cross multiply. So when we cross multiply, I get 2d is equal to 3n plus 6. I have no idea what you're doing. You weren't even here yesterday. You're not even watching. You're not even paying attention. For the second one, we're cross multiplying. Yeah, it'd be nice if you were on this right page. When you cross multiply, you get 2n is equal to d minus 1. Now, this one was a problem because it's not exactly set up like we've had in the past. So what I needed you to do was I needed you to take this -1 and I needed you to add 1 to both sides. When I add 1 to both sides, it just becomes d equals what? 2n plus 1. That's what it becomes. All right? D equals 2n plus 1. And then what do? Now it's a substitution. Exactly. So we're looking right up here. This d becomes what? 2n plus 1. Which takes me right to here. That's why we have 2 times 2n plus 1 is equal to 3n plus 6. And then we solve it out from there. All right? We got n is equal to 4. All right? Now that I know n is equal to 4, remember, what does d equal? D equals 2 times n plus 1. So I plug 4 in for n. That's how I came up with 9. All right? Now again, I'm not accepting just you figuring out in your head how the answer is 4 9ths. I'm expecting you to see the work. And like I said, on your test, we're going to have the 2 equations that you get credit for, and then attempting to solve the 2 equations. All right? And of course, this is the what? This is the hard part, setting up the equation. That's what I want to concentrate on. Now, if you have a question with this, now I'll go over something with you. Then what? Well, I solved this equation right here, right? I distributed a 2, and then I subtracted 2 and subtracted 3n. Right? What?
I don't really know how to go from like n plus 2 over d equals 2/3 to like 2d equals 3.
Cross multiply. That's how you solve the proportion. 2 times d
Oh, 2d.
is equal to
Oh yeah,
3n plus 6. Same principle here. 2n equals d minus 1. All right? Now let's take a look at the next one. Let's see how you did. All right. Now number 7, I seriously, I think everybody in here should be able to just knock out number 7. It's very, very simple. All right. No reason in the world why you couldn't do number 7 at all. The sum of two numbers is 36. The difference between the numbers is 6. All right, that's it. And now, what do? We just added them together. Why is this one so easy? Because the y and the negative y do what to each other? Cancel each other out. You're left with 2x is equal to 42, or x is equal to 21. And then you just take 21 and plug it in. 21 plus what is 36? 15. All right? That really, like I said, that really shouldn't be a big deal. And I am trying to tell you guys, I'm giving you fair warning. When we take our test next Thursday, I'm going to give you 10 word problems, and you're going to have to solve them. And I've had kids leave 7 out of 10 blank. I'm just telling you. Because they don't do the problems. All right, there's all different types of problems. I'm asking you to do a little bit of thinking, and that's really hard. I'm not trying to be funny. It's really hard. If you don't try every single day, if the only thing you do is come in and copy down my answers, you're going to be one of those who miss 7 out of 10. You have to try it. I don't care what you write on your paper. You have to try something. I believe everybody in here could have written down x plus y equals 36. And just because you couldn't do number 6 doesn't mean you have no clue how to do number 7. All right? Any questions? I think 7 is super easy.
Why does it say find the new?
It's because my secretary mistyped there. It was find the numbers. Or autocorrected. I can't remember which one.
Who's your secretary?
Find the numbers.
I am.
Find the numbers.
All
All right, here we go. Number 8. All right, now we're going to talk about number 8. All right. Now, this was very similar to the one we did also earlier. Very, very similar. All right. First of all, the sum of the two numbers is 73. I just think everybody in here could have written down x plus y equals 73. I just think everybody can do that. Now, the next thing we talked about this problem, I think it was number 4, if I'm not mistaken. All right. When the smaller is subtracted from twice the greater. I didn't know smaller and greater, so I made myself a little note off to the side, and I'm just going to let x be the what? Smaller one, and y be the what? Larger one. That's what I would like for you to do. And then it says what? When a smaller number is subtracted from, that means what? Minus x. That's what that means. That means minus x. It's subtracted from what? Twice the what? The greater number. So 2y. And then that is equal to what? 50.
Oh.
Now, why is this one a little bit trickier? Because look at my x and y. They're not in the correct order. So what did I have to do? I had to rewrite them as what? Negative x plus 2y equals 50. Now, if you don't see that, now's the time to speak up. All right? I don't care about the solution. I care about setting this up. Anybody have any questions? Yes.
I don't get like, how did you get 3y and 1?
I just added them. What's 1y plus 2y? I can add them because why?
Plus,
One is positive and one is negative. You agree with me? I'm sure you see that. Right? But you couldn't see that because of the way they were written originally. Right? The x is under the y. The x is, you with me? So it doesn't make sense. So I wrote it in the right order, and now all of a sudden I look at it better and I'm going, wow, that's pretty cool because the x now can cancel out. Agreed. What?
I have the like same numbers for the
Listen to me.
But
The answer is what is important. 41 and 32, you could have 32 and 41. It doesn't say specifically this is x and this is y. It just says there are two numbers. And this is the what? Larger one, and this is the what? Smaller one. That's all it means.
Yeah.
All right? That's all it means. What?
Just it doesn't. I got the same thing. It doesn't matter which one you make the smaller, which one you make the bigger.
We just had that conversation.
I know. I was just thinking
What were you making sure?
that it didn't matter.
I already said that. That's what you said. We just talked about that. It makes no difference to me if you put the 32 first or the 32 what? Second. Or the 41 first or the 41 second. The question is, what are the numbers? And these are the numbers. All right? All right, next. Again, I'm, you know, I don't understand here, guys. Look up for this one. Right? There are 158 members in the soccer program. Right? And when there are people, there are boys and girls. So I just put the amount of boys plus the amount of girls is equal to 158. I don't know why that's a problem. Does everybody agree with me on this? Good. And then it says there are what? 16 more boys than girls. Does everybody agree with that? So the boys are 16 more than the girls. Now, why is this so easy? It's so easy because it is a what? Substitution. Just plugging it in and solving it. Right? Now look, I'm trying to tell my earlier classes, I can make the numbers harder. Does everybody agree with me? I don't care that you can kind of figure this out in your head, what the answer is. That's not going to get you any credit on the test. You have to write the equations. You have to show me your work about how you got those numbers. I'm not accepting just the answers. You have to practice writing the equations. That is the absolute hardest thing to do. All right, now let's do number 10 together, because number 10 is a rate problem, and I know that's a little bit harder. All right? Now, I would also like to say this, for those of you guys who really want to do a good job. The 7th grade Algebra 1 explanation has me physically drawing everything out. Do you understand what I'm saying? All right? So I just did it once, so I didn't have to, I could save myself a little bit of time. If you want to hear me writing it out, you can go watch the 7th grade Algebra 1 video. And that shows all of the steps and me writing it out as I go. All right, what?
Are you on the question like in the test?
There's going to be 30, I'm pulling, I have 50 word problems to pull from. Any one of them could be on the test. All right, plus they're going to be a little bit different because you're thinking through these things. That's what the problem is. That's why it's going to be hard. All right? Now, I want to look at question number 10 now. All right? First thing we need to do is, do I need to explain distance equals rate times time to anybody? Right? Distance. Right? Let's say you're driving in your car at 50 miles per hour. First of all, that's a rate, because that's telling you how fast you're going over a period of time. So 50 miles per hour literally means in 1 hour I would be how far down the road? 50 miles. Everybody should know that. So if I'm traveling 50 miles per hour for 2 hours, that means I'm how far down the road? That's a distance. That's why this is important. Distance equals what? Rate times time. All right. Now, I want to talk about this problem because it's pretty tricky. All right? So first thing it says, if Kathy walks for 2 hours and rides her bike for 1 hour, she can travel 36 kilometers. If she walks for 2 hours and rides her bike for 1 hour, she can travel 56 kilometers. How fast can she walk and how fast can she ride her bike? That's what we're trying to figure out. All right? Now, I'm looking. What did you get?
She walks for 8 kilometers an hour, and then she bikes 20 kilometers an hour.
Wow, did anybody else come up with something? Wow, you guys, that's pretty good, man. I'm pretty impressed. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up on the board how I like to do it. Even though I see some of your variables that you're using, I'm pretty happy with you. All right? But again, I think it's important. Listen, those of you guys who look the information up, you're smarter. 100%. If you don't know something, looking something up, and every single one of these problems is on the internet. Every single one of them. Probably verbatim. Exact, and it comes up. 100%. All right, that's what I don't understand. If you want to find the answer, guess what? You can find it. All math is available. Anything you want to know about math's out there. You just got to take the time to look it up and do the practice. But here, let's talk about this one. Excellent question. All right, excellent question. So the first thing I want to make sure everybody understands is this. Distance equals rate times time. Is everybody with me on this? Right? So the first part I want to highlight here. She walks for 2 hours. So that's her what? Time. Do we agree? How fast is she walking? Do we know? That's a what? That's a rate. Thank you. So rate times time is how far she's walked. So I'm going to write this down and see if you agree. 2R sub W. What do you think R sub W means? The rate at which she's
walking.
That's what subscripts do. Subscripts define better what the variable is. So maybe with that. Now you can put X and Y and whatever. I'm just showing you this is a better way to write it down. Then she rides her bike for 1 hour. Do we know how fast she's riding her bike? So it would be 1 R sub what? B. That's the rate at which she rides her bike. So agree with that. And then that will total a distance of what? 36. Everybody okay with that?
So the next
one would be, go ahead.
2 R E or W, and then plus 2 R E equals 56.
Perfect. All right. And the subscripts are just a better letter, so it tells you exactly what we're talking about. The rate at which you walk and the rate at which you bike. All right. Now, what do I have to do to this top equation? Multiply by -1. So let's knock this out. -2 R sub W minus 1 R sub B equals -36. And so now what? The rate at which we bike is 20. 20 what? Thank you. And now I'm going to put 2RW plus 20 equals 36. 2RW equals 16. So the rate at which she walks is what? 8 kilometers per hour. Now really, listen to me. I mean this. You guys can figure that out. That is outstanding. All right. Honestly, if you took the time to figure that out, you're probably going to make 100 on your test. Because it's really not that hard.
I didn't really know that. I just kind of...
No, and this is what I'm trying to tell him. This is what I'm trying to tell Jake and everybody else. I can make the numbers harder. Do you agree with me on this? You're not going to be able to figure it out, right, if I wanted to. Do you understand what I'm saying? The numbers are just easy. I would expect you to be able to just go through and pick, guess, and check until you worked it out. I am not going to give you full credit on the test if you wrote that down without any work. Is everybody with me? It's kind of like the adding and subtracting. I'm not just going to let you give me the answer because you just figured it out in your head. All right? You understand me? You get half credit. Half of it for the answer, half of it for the work. So if you only give me the answers, you got half credit. All right? Because I do want you to figure it out if you can't figure it out mathematically. All right? So here we go. We need to work now. We need to work. All right? I want everybody to pay attention on number 11. All right, Allison. Laura has 38 quarters and dimes. How do I write that equation? Very, very good. Very good. Q plus D equals 38. Okay. Now this one I made a mistake earlier, actually, because I didn't read the question carefully. But it says, if she had twice as many quarters, my secretary is fired, she would have $11. She would have $11.
So Laura is a he.
Yeah, Laura could be here.
Okay, thank you. So now I would have to write what equation? Someone give me a shot at this. Go ahead. Good, Will.
2Q equals 11.
Tell me. Yeah, we could kind of say that. Tell me what you're thinking. Okay, 2Q plus D equals 11 is part of the answer. And I want you to put a star by that and say, yeah, that's pretty good. The problem with that is, listen to me. Here, look up, and I'm going to let you tell me if you think you got it. Look right here. This represents what? 11 is what? Money. Is this money? No. This just tells you how many quarters and dimes I have. Do you agree with me? Just like this up here. It says I have quarters and dimes and I have 38 coins is what they're telling me. Do you agree with me here? Here, this is just telling me I have quarters and dimes that add up to $11. So what do I need to do? Yes, very good. Because that will change the amount of coins to what? Money. You with me on this? So again, very, very nice. So very good, actually. So here's what I need. I need this right here, 0.25, and this right here, 0.1. So everybody's got to do that for me. So when I do that, it would be 0.50Q plus 0.10D is equal to 11. Is everybody happy with that? Everybody good? You good with that? Now, it's just a what? System of equations. I have to multiply this by what? Somebody? Tell us. Negative 0.1. Very good. Negative 0.1. All right? So now that becomes, and I'm just going to put negative 0.1Q minus 0.1D equals negative 3.8. Now, technically, guys, do I really need these zeros here? It's too confusing with the zeros. Do you agree with that? All right, we don't need them. All right, now when we add these together, I'm getting 0.4Q equals, what does that become? 7.2. Thank you very much. And so now I have Q is equal to, what is that?
1 point.
Not 1 point, anything. Isn't it 18? Yeah, thank you. 18. Well, I don't think 18.
Oh, yeah. It's not 4.
Oh, no, sorry.
Oh.
It's 18.
5.
It's 18, right? So that tells me I have 18 quarters. So if I have 18 quarters, that must mean I have how many what?
4, 8.
I'd have 20 dimes. Thank you very much. All right, guys, come on. We can do that. Now, that was a little bit tricky, so you need to make yourself a note what we did here and here, and your job tonight is kind of look things over. All right, look things over. All right, Carly, come on, girl. Work, work, work. All right. Number 12. I want everybody to try to write an equation for number 12. Let me see what you're doing on number 12. Let's go. Everybody try to write something down. Let's go. 12. Write something down for 12. Come on, you gotta try. Come on. Come on, girl. You should be able to do the first one. The first one's easy. Now, of course, we don't want to write Olivia. Just write Livia. L. All right? Because the O looks like a 0. Like your last test grade. Ooh.
Oh.
Now, L, don't make an L look like a 1. Goodness. Good. Well, that's good. That makes me feel much better. You made it darker. Olivia had 30 more than Carl. What do I write down? Say. Ooh, I like that, but I don't like minus. I don't like minus. Olivia had 30 more than Carl. So Olivia has what? Carl plus 30. Does that make any sense?
No.
Right? Who said?
Well, why would it be
Seriously?
equals?
What?
Why would it be equal?
Because in order for them to be equal, you'd have to add 30 to Carl.
Oh.
Right?
Oh,
Yes.
So Olivia is 30 more than Carl. Is everybody happy? What? Now, she's right. She could have said Carl is C equals L minus 30. But then we're dealing with what? Negatives. Does everybody agree? All right, now the hard part. Please watch. This is what's going to separate you if you can write this out. If they each had $7 less, how do I write if they each had $7 less?
Parentheses L minus 7, close parentheses plus, open parentheses C minus 7.
Stop there. 100% correct. If they each had $7 less, continue.
Equals L.
Wow, come on. Very nice. Very, very nice. If they each had $7 less, they would start out with what Olivia had. I don't think that's that hard. You can't do it if you don't try. I'm telling you, as we go down to 30, you'll start getting better at it. And you'll go, wow, this is kind of easy. And I'll say yes, because you've been doing the problems as we go. I promise you, if all you're doing is writing down my answers, it's going to be a disaster. You got to try. If you're not trying, it's going to be a disaster. And you're going to be upset. And I'm going to say, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do.
When's the test?
All right? I already told you.
Thursday.
All right? Now, let's simplify. If I simplify that, everybody should be able to say, L plus C minus 14 equals L. Now, why is this really nice? What happens to my L's?
It cancels.
Wow, look at that. So, right off the bat, I know Carl had how much money? $14. Right, Carly? $14. How did I get that? Well, I just added the 14 over, because what happened to my L's? They canceled out. Come on. Then you're just with C minus 14 equals 0. Come on now. Tell me, please. -7 and -7. Is that -14? So look, here's what I'm trying to show you. See if you agree with me now. Sorry. C minus 14 equals 0. You say, hold up. You understand that or not? What happened to the two L's? I subtracted L from both sides.
How do you have L minus C?
Well, Do you agree? Minus 7 and minus 7 is minus 14. Why would I add what? Well, what would you want me to do? You're combining like terms. You with me? And listen, I'm trying to make it easier. I'm not trying to say what you're seeing isn't correct, and that goes for everybody. Sometimes I think some of you guys think I'm frustrated. I'm not. I'm trying to see what you're seeing and why I'm not making myself clear so I can make myself clear. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want you to be upset. I want you to tell me what you don't know. But then if I'm asking you a question and you can see it, if you say you see it, I want to move on. I don't want to keep harping on it. You understand what I'm saying now, right? The negative 7 and the negative 7 made negative 14, right? And then I just left the L plus C because that's what's there. And then what happens to the two L's? They cross out. Do you agree? I just did minus L from both sides. You agree with that? What? Come on.
Just why is the 14 positive?
Because it's C minus 14 equals 0. So I added 14 to both sides.
Oh, because
Still good?
yeah,
Come on. You don't have to restate it. If you know C is 14, I'm good.
oh, but when they cancel out, it basically turns into a 0.
Why do you think that is? Because there's a 0 here. Yes. You need to learn to reason that through. How did he get 0? Because L minus L is what? You don't have to ask me that. You know that. You're smart. So C equals 14. Do we agree? Hey, Jess, you still with me? Or you still daydreaming? All right, you're with me, right? 14? 14 plus 30 then is what? 44. So that means Olivia had what? $44. L equals $44. Is everybody with me? Shh. Come on, I got so much to do and I'm running behind. Everybody good on this? All right, here we go. Let's look at 13. Okay, 13. Kate, you're up. Read me 13. How do I do it? Shh. Write the equation. Good. Julia, write the next one. Why are you asking? Are you asking me or are you just telling me? That's right. X minus y equals 13. That's it. Simple. Simple, simple, simple. We're not solving that. You're solving that tonight for homework. So I'm on 14. I'm on 14. All right, Colin. What do I write for 14? Shh. What's the first equation? What coins are we talking about?
Nickels and dimes.
So what's my first equation?
20,
Yes.
27 and plus 27D.
No. Listen to me. Here's what some of the kids made this mistake. There are 27 coins. And those coins are made up of just what?
Nickels and dimes.
So how do I write that equation?
27 times.
Nope.
27.
Nope. Come on, someone help him. Tell him. Does that make sense now?
Yes.
N plus D equals 27. N plus D equals 27. All right, I appreciate you today, Max, because you're being so good. Tell me about the next one.
Okay. Is it
Come on, Colin. I want you to try to write the next equation.
27 parentheses?
No, come on, man. I thought you were listening. I'm writing the second equation. Allison, tell him, what's the second equation? No. Come on. Will.
M plus D equals
No. No, we already did the numbers. Now I need the amount of money. Colin, do you think you can tell me this one?
No.
All right. Vivian, tell me. 0.05N plus 0.1D equals.
Oh, yeah.
1.95. Now listen, if you didn't know that, that means I didn't do a very good job on the earlier problem. So everybody with me on this now. We're talking about two coins, two types of coins, nickels and dimes. You have altogether how many? 27 coins. Does that make sense? Now I have money involved. Nickel, if I have 5 nickels in my pocket, that doesn't mean anything. How much money would I have in my pocket? 5 times 0.05. That's what we're saying right here. You convert the amount of nickels I have to money. Each nickel is worth 0.05. So it'd be 0.05 in plus 0.1 D equals $1.95. Colin, am I making myself clear now?
Yes.
Yes. Ben, Will, you good on this?
Yes.
You good? Kate? Emily? That makes sense? Come on, you're in the game now?
Yes, sir.
All right. Because we're on the next one. All right? Solve that for homework. All right? Solve that for homework. I really care about setting them up for you. You should be able to solve them. All right, so here we go with 15. Come on now. All right, chop chop on 15. The side of a square house is 24 centimeters long. So I'm going to draw a square house. So here's my square house. Now remember, I'm trying to teach you that when you're solving math problems, you got to leave yourself enough room to work. All right, so we're not going to make it so big that we can't, figure something out here. All right, and each side of the house is what? So I'm just going to put for my own interest 24, 24, 24, 24, and I know it's a square visually. All right, now, do you guys understand that your house sits on a lot, right? And generally it's a rectangular lot. It's just easier to divide property if you make it rectangles. So we're going to divide this, or we're going to put our house on a lot. And the lot is what in nature? A what? It is a rectangle. All right? So here we go. So our house is sitting on a Is that the bell?
No.
Yes.
No.
Is that okay? So listen, guys, listen. I'm expecting you to try all the way up through 20. That's why I'm saying, guys, we got to get to class. We got to get moving. We got to get moving. Try. And someone made a good observation. If you don't know, look something up. Type in the problem on the internet. I promise you it'll come up. All right? Am I right? It'll come up. And the answer. So we can do this. Just do it for 20. All right? Do your best. All right? Come in the morning and see me if you need to. Good job, guys, for the most part.